There we go. And we are live.
Working for the weekend, and I want to see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show, that's where I go for the latest brand info.
Good afternoon and welcome everybody to the program here. It's All Around Town Radio. We're bringing you a nooner today and going to have some fun with this one. We're talking about the Cincinnati Winter Blues Experience coming your way here. And so much to talk about today. I want to introduce some special guests to us. We're going to start here with the main screen and drop in a whole bunch of people if we can. And say hi to Peter up there in the top right corner. How you doing, Peter?
Hi, Scott. Great. Thank you.
Good to see you. Ed's over here. How you doing, Ed?
Fantastic, Scott. You?
I'm doing great. Peter is the organizer by all rights here and the main man for this event, the Cincinnati Winter Blues Experience. And Kelly Baker is joining us from the road. They are bouncing down the road. We're listening to her and her GPS in the background talking to us today. It's great. Live is so fun. And Kelly, welcome to the program today. It's good to have you with us. And we're going to talk to Kelly about her show here in a minute, and she's traveling right now. So hopefully, if your GPS talks, it's fine. We don't care. Okay. It's a-okay. And Danielle has joined us, but we're having trouble with her feed right now. Well, hopefully Danielle will be back with us. And we can't forget Peter's dog up there in the top as well. That he's keeping peacefully at bay. I'm going to see if Danielle's feed comes in here. No, she's still showing blank on the screen. So we'll see if we can get her to go back out and come back in maybe, and we'll gain contact with her. So Peter, let's start off with you, man. Tell us about this event. This is your 5th year for the Cincinnati Winter Blues Experience. I've been to this event. I'm going to say it is a stellar lineup this year. Let's talk about it and tell everybody the details, if you will.
This is the 5th year, Scott, believe it or not. It's going to be this Saturday at Manor House in Mason, Ohio. Doors are at 4:30. Music starts at 5. You can get tickets night of. They're $35 at the door. You can get them online right now for $30 up until Saturday morning. All the details are at winterbluesexperience.com. The band bios, the lineup, hotel information. There's a tab there for the guitar that's going to be raffled off that night. It's pretty comprehensive. Everything's there, winterbluesexperience.com. But I'm really pleased with the lineup this year. The ticket sales are probably 40% ahead of what they were last year, which tells me I did something right.
That's outstanding.
Doesn't happen that often, but yes, the stars are aligning this year. The weather's supposed to be really nice on Saturday. I think it's going to be close to 60 degrees, which really brings out a lot of people.
Perfect. And yeah, we're looking forward to this event, and the lineup is amazing. Ed Sawicki is a big guy in the blues community, and he's got all the posters of the past events behind him, and wearing that Cincy Blues shirt. Show us that shirt again, Ed. Back up there we go. I love it. And Winter Blues Experience is just a showcase of amazing talent in an amazing venue with 2 separate ballrooms, so you can bounce back and forth and see all these players all day long. And as Peter mentioned, the doors are kicking off at 4:30 and the show starts at 5, and it's a night-long event of music. So let's kick it down to Kelly for a minute. Peter, give me some background as to Kelly and why she's playing this year, and then let's let Kelly tell a little bit about herself.
Last year at the IBCs, me and Ed always make it a point to go to the Women in the Blues Showcase. And I don't know why, Ed, we were running late that day, and we got in the door. And Kelly was on stage, and I probably heard her last song and a half. And I didn't know who she was, but I really liked her voice. And I said, I got to see who this is. So I looked her up on the poster. Later that night, I was judging went to Hard Rock Cafe to do my judging. Who's the first act I judged? The Kelly Baker Band. So I did my due diligence, and I waited till the competition was over that night to tell her I was interested in having her come to the Winter Blues experience this year. So everything worked out pretty well.
Yeah, well, now we're having issues, Kelly. Gonna have to put your earbuds back in.
Sorry, my headphones died, so now I can hear you. Sorry.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So, Kelly, you're playing this event right now. Tell everybody where you're traveling to tonight and from. And I think Danielle has joined us, so we're going to bring her into the program too here in just a moment. But Kelly, go ahead and tell us where you're traveling from and to, and what you're going to do on Saturday night.
So we are traveling.
Yeah, we're losing Kelly's audio, I think. Yep, it's Kelly. Kelly, I'm sorry if you can hear me. We're losing your audio completely. She cannot hear us either, apparently. So, Ed, talk about this show. You've been at this show every year. Let's chat about it.
Well, this is actually interesting because Peter and I started doing the Winter Blues Festival when we were both on the board of the Cincy Blues Society. Okay. And when we retired from the board in, 2018, Peter decided to continue doing this going forward. So we have a fantastic mix of national acts as well as some amazing local and regional acts. So, some of the people playing you may be familiar with are CFG and the Family, who just recently competed at the International Blues Challenge and ended up being a finalist this year in terms of the band category. Absolutely great. We have Johnny Fink along with Gina McCann and the Johnny and Gina Band. Johnny was also an IBC finalist in 2017. We also have Noah Weatherspoon with Scotty Bratcher and the Just Horns Band. Noah was a two-time finalist at the IBCs and ended up winning the Best Guitarist Award one year. So we have other local acts like Tempted Souls, Leroy Ellington, who's been a staple of the blues scene here for over 30 years. Really an absolutely phenomenal lineup. So just a great night of music.
Outstanding. And Danielle has joined us here, and we've got you in the broadcast. Danielle, I'm going to bring you up full screen for a minute and introduce your cohort there next to you, if you will, as well.
Cohort. Hello. I'm Danielle Nicole. This is Brandon Miller. We are 2/3 of the Danielle Nicole Band. And we are really excited to be coming back to Peter's event, the Winter Blues Experience. We've been there, fortunate to be there a few times now. So we know the lay of the land, and it's always a really warm crowd and a really fun event.
And in case you people that are watching don't know Danielle, she's Grammy nominated as well. And they're an amazing group who are going to headline in the main ballroom, the Manor Ballroom, as it's known, starting at 10:35 on Saturday night, right? I think you guys are going to bring the house down at the end of the show there. We're looking forward to it. Danielle, real quick, how did you get started in this business of the chaos of traveling around and playing in this band?
Oh, well, I was in a band with my older brothers for a long time, and a band called Trampled Underfoot, and just started to, as that band was winding down after Chris had left the group, I gave Brandon a call and I was like, hey, what are you doing? you want to get in a van and travel the world and see what we can do? And here we are, we're our 9th year, 10th year?
Yeah,
10th year.
Something.
I don't know. Many years later, we're still doing it, and so we love writing music. We love playing original music and touring around and doing it.
Well, and we're looking forward to seeing you play. And I've read your bio online, and man, you come with a hefty bio. You have some real accolades out there. People talk very highly of you, and I think the people of Cincinnati are in for a great treat to see you play. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, we always have a good time.
It's always a nice rowdy crowd in Cincinnati.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Now, where are you guys at right? Where are you at right now? Where are you coming to us from?
Kansas City. We're
All
home right now, but we'll be hitting the road tomorrow in St. Louis, and then we have Evansville. So we'll be nice and warmed up.
We'll
for
be getting warmed
everybody
up, yeah.
on Saturday in Cincinnati.
Perfect. And I'm going to bring Kelly back into the show if she's still having audio issues. So we'll have to mute her audio for a minute. But Kelly, sorry, I'll try to get back with you here in just a moment. Want to talk, Peter, a little bit about why you chose Danielle as the headliner kind of for this whole show.
About 10 years ago, I saw Trampled Underfoot at the Cincinnati Summer Blues Festival. I think that was 2013 or 14. It was the year, I think, Badlands won Best Blues Album or Contemporary Blues Album. And then shortly after that, Chris went his way and Danielle went her way and Nick went his way. And I was thinking, boy, this is like the Beatles breaking up or something. But it turned out very good. And this will actually be the third Winter Blues experience Danielle has played at. The first one we did at Fretboard, which was a great success. And I think this is the fifth time I will have had Danielle play up here, which I'm proud of because she doesn't play the Cincinnati area that often, but I'll get her up here as often as I can. Just really like the music. Brandon, who's a fantastic guitarist, and Ray on drums. They're all very talented musicians. And I knew this fifth year I wanted it to be something special, so I wanted to have a really special headliner.
And Danielle, I've got a question for you. I saw in your bio a comment made about you were a founding member of the heavy blues band Trampled Underfoot. Now, explain heavy blues to me. How would you define that?
Well, we played a lot of traditional blues songs, but we did it in our way. And I think the term rock blues is just really kind of overused, and it's kind of a lazy way of explaining. There's so many different styles of blues that just simply calling something rock blues, we didn't really like that. And we were traditional in the sense that we would play the Muddy Waters songs, and we wouldn't really recondition them or anything, but just what we naturally brought to it as a band, it just was a heavier interpretation. And so we always stressed on we're not rock blues, we're not blues rock, we're a heavy blues band. And so that's where we get the term from. And it's, there's if you actually listen to it, there is a style of rock blues, and we weren't that. So
outstanding explanation. That explains it to me now, because I saw that and I was like, okay, are they playing thrash blues, or what are they doing? And
metal
all those
blues.
when it said heavy, I wasn't real sure there if he came out in the Gene Simmons attire playing all that, or he's rocking it out, I'm sure. So what can the crowd expect from you when they come to see this event and see you at the end of the evening? Give them a little synopsis of what they can expect out of the Danielle Nicole band.
We'll be playing a lot of new songs off our latest album that just dropped a week and a half ago. So we've got a lot of new music. We'll be playing and debuting for the people of Cincinnati that have never heard it before, and they'll have a chance to buy that new album as well. But we like to, Danielle and us, we've coined the phrase of just American music, especially with this new album. There's obviously still those heavy ties to the blues, but there's some soul in there and some roots, even a little bit, on the rock side.
There's a little bit of rock blues on this album.
On a song or two.
It's okay.
But then, the Americana as well. We have some acoustic tunes that we do that really draw the audience in. So it's just a full American music spectrum that they'll be able to listen to. And I think that there's a song for everybody, no matter what realm or genre you enjoy the most. There's a song for everybody and a style for that.
Perfect. Well, looking forward to it. And I want to let the viewers know, if you're watching today, especially after we're live, if you have a question, please drop it in the comments. Peter is going to share this. Ed will share this. They can answer your questions about the Winter Blues experience going on at Manor House in Mason. And we'll give you the address of that and everything and some details in just a minute. I want to try to kick it up to Kelly there if I can, and see if I can bring Kelly back in audio-wise here. I want to ask Kelly a question too about, what kind of show they're going to put on at this Winter Blues experience. So Kelly, if you can hear me, throw a little comment back to us about what the crowd can expect to see out of your band.
I can hear you now.
Perfect.
It was like, it was a little bit of moving around over here, but now I can hear you and you can hear me, which is great. We have a great lineup coming to the show, and I'm super excited. It's a real powerful blues show, and I really like what Danielle was saying about what she does. I'm a big stage performer. I like to really interact with the audience and put on a really good, powerful show. So you're going to have 2 heavy hitters coming on Saturday, that's for sure.
And Peter, let's talk about the whole lineup. Let's run through that real quick if we can, because it's important that everybody knows. You mentioned some of the local acts and that, but you've got a massive lineup in 2 ballrooms for this. And I love the way you stagger the times so people can go back and forth and hear. And that was the one thing that wowed me about the event I was at the first year, was that this gives you an opportunity to see so many musical acts for one ticket price, basically. So let's talk about that, Peter.
It goes very smoothly, Scott. Like you said, they're staggered by 15 minutes. So there's always music going on in one ballroom or the other. And not that I don't know the lineup by heart, but I'll still read it. You got the Jamie Carr band starting at 5 in the one ballroom. The interns are going to do a Hendrix tribute, who, if you didn't know, I'm a Hendrix wonk. I think he's the quintessential blues man. So David agreed to do a Hendrix tribute. The Tempted Souls band, which has been on the Cincinnati blues scene for over 20 years. The Gina and Johnny band, Nick Schneblin band. And for those of you who don't know, that is Danielle's sibling and 1/3 of Trampled Underfoot. He was also a Gibson Guitar Award winner back in 2008. I think then they used to call it the Albert King Guitar Award. Danny Garwood's going to start up in the Manor Ballroom. He's a 14-year-old. I don't know if you call him a prodigy, but from Nashville. He's a fantastic player, heavily influenced by like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Gales. He's very entertaining. Leroy Ellington and the Sacred Hearts after that, another local staple in the blues scene here. CFG and the Family, who just got to the finals of the IBC. And if I'm not mistaken, Danielle, you were a judge there.
Yeah, I was one of the finals judges. Yeah.
Yeah. Noah Witherspoon, Scotty Bratcher, and the Just Strange Brothers horns, which together, that's an incredible set they're going to do. I've seen it once and I had to have it. Kelly Baker will be after that, and Danielle will be last in that room at 10:35. And just before Danielle plays, we're going to raffle off that hand-painted guitar.
Yeah, tell me about that guitar in a little more detail, because that sounds really cool.
I wanted to do something special for the 5th anniversary, and I was thinking of a reverse V at first, because it's the Roman numeral 5, getting everybody to sign it. And then I came up with a different idea. I looked around for artists that paint guitars, and I found a great gallery in Baltimore, and she painted this for me. It looks a heck of a lot better in person, but I wanted to give a little Cincinnati blues theme to it. I don't know how well you can tell on the camera, but down here, there's the Mansion Hill Blues Tavern sign, which if you're from Cincinnati, Mansion Hill has been a stalwart for the blues for decades now. H. Bomb Ferguson with his iconic mushroom cloud, the Cincinnati skyline. It's painted both front and back. And if you've ever been to Mansion Hill, you'll know the significance of the Maryland portrait that is behind the stage. So every patron is getting a ticket for this raffle. There will also be tickets available to be purchased that night. And we're going to do it just at about 10:30, just before Danielle plays.
Outstanding. That's beautiful, Peter. I think that's going to be a big hitter for everybody there. And now at this event, guys, and Ed, you've been to this numerous times, been a part of this. Talk about this 2 ballroom, the food, everything else that's available for people that night.
Well, the Manor House is a very elegant place, okay? Quite comfortable, very spacious. Each ballroom will have dance floors off to the sides of the stage such that it doesn't obstruct the view of the patrons going forward on there. You have a good quality food, fairly simple, in terms of, hot dogs and hamburgers and popcorn and stuff like that available for purchase actually in the area in between the 2 ballrooms, and with a very comfortable, spacious area to eat. The rooms themselves will be a mix of basically, stadium seating as well as seating at tables and the like, and plenty of bars to help you imbibe and enjoy the evening.
Outstanding. And Peter, would you throw some questions at Danielle or some things you want Danielle to talk about here while we still have them on with us before they have to go in their busy schedule today? So hit us with something, Peter, for her.
Danielle, tell us a little bit about the success of the new album.
Well, we just got word yesterday that it hit #1 on Billboard. And so we were able to, we have a dog.
Everybody has dogs. It's all right.
We were very, very blessed with a lot of physical sales and physical orders, physical pre-orders, that we were able to secure #1 on iTunes, Amazon, and Billboard. And that's not just for the streams. That's actual hard-earned money that people spend to support and help the success of the record. And so that's a little extra, in the feels on it. But this album, we wrote it. I wrote a lot of these songs. Brandon and I wrote some of the songs together. But most of these were written prior to COVID, prior to Chris's cancer, so there was a really great air about the album. And then we went in to record it. We recorded it to tape. And so the vinyl is the fidelity on the vinyl is extra. Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's so cool. But there's just a lot of really, really cool things about the album. We recorded it in Kansas City. Go-Go is on drums, Brandon's on guitar. So it's the core of the music is what is our live show. And so, we obviously we communicate together real well after having played together for nearly a decade in the same project. But Go-Go is just such an intuitive drummer that he caught onto every groove and just fell right in place like we'd already been playing together just as long. So it's really cool that it's a representation of where I was at in my life when we recorded these songs. And it's also a fair representation of what the live show is. So it's really cool that it's resonating with people. It seems to be resonating with a lot of people, and they, all of my songs they're true to life, whether they happen to me or somebody I knew, or it's very personal. Every song is very personally written, and so for people to relate to that is another facet of how cool it is. So.
Amazing. And I really love the way that you said we had a Billboard #1 so nonchalantly, and then the dog got all excited. So that was great.
Yeah, Layla's like, what?
Yeah, cheering for you. So are you gonna have? I had a question there. Are you gonna have the album there on Saturday for available for people to?
We have CDs, and we will have vinyl as well. We have a limited transparent magenta vinyl, and it's really great. But it's cool, and we'll be there right after the show as well to sign and say hi. You don't even have to buy anything, but we'll be there to. We'll sign your ticket or, to take a picture or whatever. But yeah, we'll have the albums available, and they're available on all the platforms as well.
That's dynamite. And Kelly, are you going to have merch there as well?
I will. We have all kinds of fun stuff. We have traditional stuff and non-traditional stuff. So you'll see we have a whole way out of merch and CDs.
Throw me an item that's non-traditional.
A logo car air freshener.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Everybody needs an air freshener.
That's
it's
right.
great. I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you. Ed, what else do you have to share today with everybody, or ask any of our guests today?
Well, the reality is I would just encourage people to get their tickets in advance if they can. It would be a little faster getting through at the door. As Peter said, ticket sales are significantly ahead of a year ago, probably the strongest that we've seen because we have such a fantastic lineup. And you may be seeing this individual there with a camera or two in hand, taking one or two pictures during the day.
I think Danielle's answering Diana's question about, will we see your kick?
I don't know, man. It's organic. It's organic.
Well, now I've got to see it. So I haven't seen it before, so I definitely got to see it.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. Thank you, Diana, for that question. And guys, if you're watching again after we're live today, please drop questions in there. Peter and Ed will be monitoring this and be able to answer them for you. And, I want to say this is one of the events that I get excited about every year because it is such a showcase of talent all in one place. And you don't get this very often, other than big, large music festivals that go on for 3 days and that. And Peter, you've packed in this lineup of people who are just all stellar musicians. And this has to be a lot of work for you, Peter. I mean, you're awfully humble, but I know this has to be a ton of work.
I don't know if it's work, Scott. It's time consuming, but to tell you the truth, I've already got a lineup in mind for next year. So I work on it all year. Towards the end, it gets a little stressful. There's just a lot to do when you're doing it by yourself. And don't get me wrong, Ed is a big help. He's instrumental in promoting it. He's my sounding board for all my crazy ideas and tell me if I'm right or wrong on them. But it's a labor of love. I do it for the music, and I wanted to see this event continue.
Peter,
ideal.
Fantastic job. I mean, absolutely amazing. We just have so much to thank for Peter and Post Meridian Productions, which is Peter's production company, for putting this event on and continuing, this tradition here in Cincinnati.
Little shameless plug there.
I see we've got a couple of minutes. I just wanted to know if Kelly could tell us a little bit about her band members.
Yeah, if I can get the brand off the screen. There we go. Okay, go ahead, Kelly. I'm going to unmute you here. Go ahead.
So I have Noah Soha. He's behind me right here. We met actually as we were from PJ, who's driving, who was checking him out for probably about a year before we finally got introduced. Who's very big on the blues scene in New York City and has worked with, Paula Cole and went to Berkeley, won the Jimi Hendrix Award from Berkeley. And he's he's one of those people that just goes somewhere musically that a lot of so many people just don't have the gift to go. It's like a genius ability. It's really, really something special.
Who's pretty well recognized at Juilliard, wasn't he?
At Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Berkeley. Yeah, he won the Jimi Hendrix Award at Berkeley. Yeah.
Wow. So you see, people, if you're watching today, listen to this and hear this absolute group of stellar people that Peter has lined up to play. I mean, you've got a Grammy nominee. You have someone who's got a song right now that's on the Billboard charts at #1. Keep that in mind. Also, Kelly and her band full of amazing players, it sounds like. And just a host of local talent, too. I mean, when you're talking about CFG and the family going to Memphis and being in the top finals of that, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment for our local boys. And they're a fantastic up-and-coming group, and I look forward always to seeing them play as well. And you can't forget Gina and Johnny, because Gina McCann, I always say her voice is like butter sprinkled with cayenne pepper, but she has got it going on, and Johnny Fink always has it going on. So this is an incredible day of music, or evening of music, at the Manor House, and hats off to Manor House for what they do too for your event, Peter, because they set that room up so nice. And mention real quick before we go, we've got to go here in a minute or so. Let's talk about production, because it takes a lot just for production to make all these stage changeovers happen and everything else out there. So Peter, hit on that for just a minute.
You might be familiar with Kenny Patterson. He does all the sound and lighting. Kenny Haynes is the MC and stage manager. He keeps everybody on time. 15 minutes between sets doesn't sound like much, but we never or rarely run late. It's it takes a village. We'll start Saturday morning at about 9, and by about 1:32, everything will be set and ready to go.
Yeah, those guys are amazing, and the sound always is perfect in there. I love the ballroom sound because the ceilings are a little lower, and you don't get the echo chamber like you get in some big venues and all that. It's just a quality event and a quality place to go see it. Plenty of parking as well. That's another thing that I think you've chosen a perfect venue for, because you can get in there, park, and not be on street parking and all those things that go on at a lot of places. So that's perfect as well. What else do we have to share today, people? Peter, I'll leave it up to you to share the rest, and then we'll hit up Danielle and Kelly with some parting words here as we go.
Just wanted to thank you again, Scott, for getting the word out. Thank you, Danielle, Brandon, Ed, and Kelly for being on, and we'll see you all on Saturday.
Well, I'm going to be their fanboy, and I'm going to have one of Glenn's laminates that I'm going to have everybody sign for the studio here, because I'll be fanboying with everybody that day and enjoying a great day of music. Danielle, any parting words for everybody?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that comes out to see live original music, especially in the blues genre. And I want to thank Peter for your continuous hard work. I know it's a hard job dealing with a lot of musicians, but no, Peter and Ed, thank you very much for keeping the blues alive.
Amazing. Thank you, Danielle. And Ed, real quick, anything, and then I'll hit it over to Kelly.
Yeah, simply get there early, stay there late, and have a blast.
That's pretty simple, Ed. I like it. Kelly, how about you? Any parting words for everybody?
I'm just excited. I've never been to Cincinnati or to that area. And I've actually got some friends coming down that I'm excited to see that live in the area. And I'm excited to meet all of you in person that I haven't met. Looking forward to a great show.
Well, thank you for coming to us from the road. I'm glad our technical issues got fixed there. And, you can tell the band to go back to sleep now, and everything will be good. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Danielle, and thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are wonderful. And I look so forward to seeing you. I've never seen you, so I'm looking forward to that as well. And Mr. Ed Sawicki and Peter, thank you so much, guys. You're remarkable humans who really are keeping the blues alive in Cincinnati, and we appreciate you very much.
Many thanks, Scott. Really.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, guys, we're going to cut out of here. Join us tomorrow live at 5 for Who's Playing Out, brought to you by our friends at Froggy's in Monroe. It's the best of who's playing in the Cincinnati area and Dayton area and such, and what venues are bringing them to you all week long. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. We're going to get on out of here for now. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.